Hey guys, I want to welcome you back to another episode on J of All Trades. Today you're looking at my Craftsman T110 and I've been experiencing an electrical issue with my battery. There's something wrong with this electrical system that keeps draining my battery every time I leave it connected to this system. If you're having a similar issue with your riding mower, it doesn't have to be the same brand, it could be a completely different brand. But there is a solve that I've come up with to stop this from happening. Because I've tried to troubleshoot this to see what exactly is draining the battery and I couldn't find anything. So every time I finish using this lawnmower, I have to disconnect this negative terminal here just to prevent it from draining my battery out. It's actually very annoying to do this, especially when you're ready to start this thing up and the battery just doesn't have the juice in it. I've actually even replaced this battery thinking that the problem was the battery. So I actually got this die-hard battery which has 340 cold cranking amps, which is more than it is required. And I'm going to be leaving a link in the description for you guys so you can go out there and get this battery because it operates really well with this mower. So today I'm going to install a kill switch on this battery to prevent the battery from draining when not in use. So let's begin. First things first, you want to disconnect your negative terminal on your battery. Make sure to keep the original nut and bolt safe because we'll be reusing that shortly. Here is a battery kill switch that I've ordered off of Amazon, and I'll include a link in the description if you'd like to go out there and get it. So when you first open up the box, you're going to see this little set of instructions here to show you exactly how to set up the switch. And keep in mind that you can use this switch on any vehicle battery that you'd like, even your car battery. And here on this diagram, you can see on the motor side of the positive terminal that's coming off of the battery here. And on the other side, you have the side with the switch, which is on the negative terminal. And it's coming off of the negative terminal and then over to the motor side. This diagram is a little confusing because it shows that this line on the negative terminal is actually drawn in a red line and the positive side is drawn in a black line. So I think those colors could be switched there. But anyhow, this is how the switch looks when you open up the box. Very simple, and it's all packaged nicely. One thing I can tell you is that the switch feels very high quality. It doesn't feel flimsy at all. It even has a little bit of weight to it, so I like that. The build quality seems to be pretty good. Here on both ends, it comes with these two bolts that gets threaded in. And the switch itself, when you turn it on, feels pretty good. And turning it off as well feels really nice and solid. So turning the switch to this green section here closes the circuit, and turning it to the red opens up the circuit. So here's a look from the side profile again here, and you can see that the build quality looks pretty decent. So let's get the switch installed. So here the first thing you're going to notice is the difference in size when it comes to these bolts. And the size of those bolts that come with this switch is mainly for a car battery, but we're going to be replacing these and taking it out, so we won't be using these bolts. Instead, we're going to use smaller bolts that match up with the size of this battery. So the reason why I'm actually installing this kill switch on the negative terminal is because I want to completely break the entire electrical circuit. I want to isolate the battery from the vehicle's electrical system. Because you got to keep in mind that the negative terminal is the ground connection to the chassis. So when it's disconnected, any kind of accidental contact of the positive terminal with the grounded metal parts of this system, it becomes a non-issue and there's no path for the current to flow. So this essentially even prevents parasitic draw. So if there's any components in your car, like alarms or clocks or memory settings that draw a small amount of power, basically a kill switch eliminates this sort of parasitic drain on the battery, and putting it on that negative terminal does that. Another word of advice here is make sure that these connections are nice and tight, because when the mower is running, it recharges the battery, and by having these connections nice and tight, the electrical flow will be much better. And you'll also be able to have better flow of electricity when you're going to start your mower as well. So that's very important to make sure that these are nice and tight. So here I'm going to be using electrical tape to insulate and to protect these wires and these connections. It will also help to prevent short circuits and also protect these pieces from the element. So just try to cover all the conductors here that are exposed, and that includes the nut, the bolt, the bar on the switch as well as the wire. And it wouldn't hurt to go around a couple times to make this a little thicker. Here I'm just going to disconnect the positive terminal just to be a little safer here, to prevent any kind of short circuit when I'm making this connection from the side of the switch to the battery. You don't necessarily have to do this if you're being careful, but it never hurts to take the extra precaution. So here I'm also going to remove this bolt because we won't be using this as well. And we're going to be putting a different size of nut and bolt through this. So the first thing you're going to need is you're going to need a couple connections like this. And you're also going to need a piece of wire to extend from the switch to the battery. So before I crimp this connection here, I'm going to cut this piece of wire down to size so that it fits nicely in that connection. Just make sure you pay attention to the gauge of wire that you're using here. For a riding mower, you want to use a minimum of 12 gauge copper wire. And here I'm using 12 gauge, even though the actual size on this mower is 10 gauge. But the wire just needs to be able to be thick enough to handle the amperage draw of this riding mower. So this will do just fine. Just don't do anything smaller than a 12 gauge wire. Make sure that when you crimp these connections, you're tugging on it and making sure that they're nice and tight. I'm going to be bending this wire so it'll attach to the switch here and then to the battery. So here on the other side, I'm just going to prep this and I'm going to cut this down to size so I can install the other connector. Once again, I'm just going to give this a really nice tug there, and that seems to be nice and tight. One thing that I want to do before connecting this wire is that I want to wrap it with insulation tape all the way around, and that's just to indicate that this is the negative side of the battery. I want to make sure that there's no confusion with this green wire here, because someone might think, what is this ground wire doing here? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it and I'll make it black like the rest of the negative terminal. Ideally, using a black wire would have been the best thing here, but unfortunately I didn't have any black wire laying around. So I'm just going to wrap this with black insulation tape, and this will be a good indicator that this is the negative side of the battery. As you can see, this resembles the other side of the switch, and now we're ready to install this on the battery. Once again, you want to make sure that these connections are nice and tight. So don't just screw it on there and leave it, but make sure that you tighten it up, because that battery is going to need to be recharged by the alternator and it needs to have a nice, good path. Keep in mind that when you're riding the mower, you're going to be going over dirt and grass and other things that'll just be moving this thing around all over the place, and all that vibration can make these connections come loose. So you really want to make sure that they're nice and tight. Here I'm just going to decide to flip this bolt over. It just makes more sense to match it up with the other side. Let's give it a nice tug here, and that seems to be nice and tight. So we're just gonna tape it up. And for the people who are watching that are thinking about putting this on your car system, this will work just the same. And there's some people out there who are probably paranoid about someone starting their vehicle and driving off with it. This is a good way to prevent that from happening. Although I'm sure it's not going to help with a mower like this, because they can simply just put it in neutral and just roll it off. But for a larger vehicle like a car or a truck, I can see how this can be very beneficial in that area. Now that we got that all connected, don't forget to connect your positive terminal, and we're going to test this switch out and make sure that everything is working as it should. So to close the circuit, we're going to turn this to green, and that has closed the circuit. And to open the circuit, we'll turn this back to red. And the great thing about this is with the seat down, you can see that I can still access the switch and keep everything in place. And that gives me a nice convenient way to do this. So when I'm ready to mow the lawn, I'll turn this on. I'll hop on the mower, fire it up. Make sure to listen out carefully, and it seems like there's no electrical issues here. Once I'm done mowing, I'll just come back here and turn this into the off position, and that'll prevent my battery from draining. So I hope that this helps some of you guys to solve this problem of your battery draining. And this method would work for any riding mower. It doesn't have to be Craftsman. I want to thank you guys for joining me today. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel so you can continue to get more videos like this one. And I'll see you guys on the next one.